Thank God for this miracle. Honestly, how many of you had given up on Preeti? Raise your hand. How many of you had given up? How many thought this day would never come? Well, a lot of you are being very generous right now. It took Preeti 10 years, okay? 10 years to find the right guy. 10 years after college and after pharmacy school. And like Preeti does with everything, she turned it into a science. She created some hypotheses. Some of them were disproven. Then she drew some conclusions, took some mental notes, and started again. Apparently, at some point, having a good set of teeth became a high priority. I'm not sure what that's about. Adult birds, they chew their food before they feed it to their young, so that might have something to do with it. I'm not sure. Anyway, after 10 years of study, I think it would be fair to say that Preeti has a PhD in finding the right husband. And as a byproduct of being on her own for 10 years, she became even more independent than she already is. Those of us who have known Preeti her whole life know that she's always needed to do everything her way, and you can't tell her what to do. So the fact that she's had the past 10 years to hone those skills makes her pretty dangerous. She knows what she wants, she knows how to get it, and she knows how to take care of herself. But before you start worrying about Josh, rest assured that he knows exactly what he's gotten himself into, and rest assured that he's found an amazing life partner in Preeti. She may have a tough exterior, but she's an extremely loving and caring person, and she would do anything for you. I'm proud of who she has become, of everything she has accomplished, and today, for the great guy she has chosen to spend the rest of her life with. I can already tell in the past year and a half that Josh has helped Preeti relax and breathe a little more. If you've met Preeti, you can't help but love her and want to spend time with her. My wife feels that way. My in-laws feel that way. My parents feel that way. My kids feel that way. My 4-year-old, Jasmine, absolutely adores Preeti. And she's actually a lot like Preeti was when she was a little girl. Really cute, really bossy, cannot sit still, and never stops talking. Seeing as how they're a lot alike, it's no surprise that when Jasmine first met Josh, he took her breath away. And by breath, I actually mean that he took the wind out of her. And by wind, I mean that she passed gas. And Josh is kind of a quiet guy, if you've noticed. And he had only been on 2 dates with Preeti at that point and was trying to make a good impression with my wife, Bindu. And of course, with me, Preeti's favorite cousin. Preeti decided to test how Josh is with kids by introducing him to Jasmine. So she said, "Jasmine, come say hi to my friend Josh." And Jasmine looked at Josh, and all of a sudden, nothing like a toddler passing gas to break the ice. After that first impression, Josh was compelled to delay his plans to drive back to Tracy, and he sat and had dinner with our family. That's how I knew Josh was into Preeti. I also knew he scored major points with Preeti that weekend. I've known Preeti and her super nitpicky criteria for husband material for a very long time now. Not only did Josh end that second date by making an effort with Preeti's favorite cousin in my family, and by playing with Preeti's niece, but I remember that Josh texted Preeti right after their first date about how he was looking forward to their second date. Preeti explained to me in her formulaic, authoritative way that if a boy isn't already planning the second date in his head by the middle of the first date, he hasn't proven his worth. Congratulations, Josh. You proved your worth that day. Way to go for setting the bar so high that every other guy in here now looks like a schmuck, and so high that you'll be spending the rest of your life struggling to satisfy Preeti's high expectations of you. Of course, I'm just kidding. Preeti's really easygoing. She'll probably forget. Really, though, Josh, you did good. I don't have a formula like Preeti does, but I know a good person when I see one. And Preeti will tell you that I've been known to be protective of her in the past. With you, I let my guard down immediately because I could see that you were the real deal. It's been great getting to know you over the past year and a half, and I look forward to us spending time together over the next several decades. Welcome to the family, brother. And I have to say, I also appreciate that because Preeti is changing her name for you, that you also changed your name for her. And what I mean by that is that now that you've married into a Gujarati family, you're no longer Josh, you're Josh. I'm so happy for the both of you. Preeti is one of my favorite people in the world, and I love her dearly. Take good care of her. With that said, it is, of course, my job to marry every couple whose wedding I attend. So I'm honored that Preeti and Josh have asked me to do the same for them by officiating their civil marriage. So here we go. Can I have both of you please stand up here with me?
Josh, you had me at hello. You are sweet, caring, loving, patient, understanding, fun, soothing, mellow, adapting, and my best friend. You treat me like a queen, and that's exactly what I deserve. So don't think you can stop with the chivalry after the wedding. With that said, I wish you weren't so loud all the time, that you weren't so stubborn, that you would let me talk some of the time rather than monopolizing every conversation, and that you weren't always randomly dragging me to visit all of your cousins, where all you guys do is share stories about your past and giggle all day like little schoolgirls. But despite all that, I love you, and I'll keep you, although I wish you weren't such a show-off with all your fancy dance moves.
For those of you who aren't familiar with Josh's dance moves, I'd like to direct your attention to the screen at this moment.
Are you serious? Oh, no. We didn't even go to a party.
Somehow it's in slow motion, but you get to appreciate Josh's moves even more in slow-mo.
Preeti, you are a treasure. I have never met someone so well put together, so beautiful, so smart, and of course, so logical. Additionally, I'm amazed with how well you always get along with everybody. How you never argue, never assert yourself, always give in, and never complain about anything or anyone. Oh, and you are totally low maintenance about your appearance, your clothes, your hair, and your exercise, and your teeth. But truthfully, your candor, your commitment, and dedication to those you love and to everyone you do, and your energetic personality are so refreshing that you make me want to always be by your side, enjoying life's journey with you.
Very nice. All right. I've got the rings here. Josh, I'd like you to repeat after me. Let's place the finger on Preeti's ring finger here at the top, okay? And repeat after me. I, Josh, take you, Preeti, to be my wedded wife.
Take you, Preeti, to be my wedded wife.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
To have and to hold to this day forward.
For better or worse, for richer, for poor.
For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer.
In sickness or in health.
In sickness or in health.
To love and to cherish till death do us part.
To love and to cherish to death do us part.
Now you may place the ring on Preeti's finger.
I, Preeti, take you, Josh, to be my wedded husband.
To have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse.
To have and to hold from this day forward, for better or for worse.
For richer for poor,
for richer or poor,
in sickness or in health,
in sickness or in health,
to love and to cherish till death do us part.
to love and to cherish till death do us part.
Now please place the ring on Josh's finger. Wait. Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. Brittany and Josh, by the power vested in me by the state of California, I now pronounce you husband and wife. I'd like you to please give each other wedding knuckles. And remember, blow it up. Blow it up. All right. And you can hug again if you'd like. That's fine. Congratulations.
Okay. So anyways. So Priti, not to repeat too much, but you're getting married, and that's crazy. It's amazing, but it's just crazy. You're a very unique person, so it follows that the kind of person who would be a good match for you would be a rare find. So I'm incredibly happy for you that you found the man you've been searching for. When I think of you, a lot of things come to mind. You've always been one of my favorites in the family, and I kind of think of you as a sister. I've known you my whole life. Even in my earliest baby pictures, you're there. And I think that outside of my brother and my parents, you are the one I've kept the most frequent and consistent contact with, either over the phone or seeing you at all the times you've come to visit. You've always been my partner in crime, in more recent years as the other single cousin, searching for love but refusing to settle down, sometimes as the other sober cousin, helping take care of drunk people who can't walk but keep wanting to dance down hallways. But even before that, I didn't want to name any names. All right, so, but even before that, even as kids, you've always understood me in ways most others don't. Even though I was odd or a little different from the rest of the family, you've always appreciated me, and I can't tell you how much I've appreciated that. You've always been quite entertaining. Whether it's your stories, your opinions, your odd mannerisms, by your big jungle hair, or even your long orangutan arms. You have who else can like reach all the way around themselves and stand like that for fun? Yeah. You have such a great energy and a spark to you that you are so much fun to be around. You've always kept it real, brutally real at times, but more often than not in a fun way. As part of your extended family, I've definitely noticed how much love you have for all of us, and you aren't afraid to show it, even if it's just by your phone calls or trying your best to be there for all our special occasions. Yeah, sorry. Your truthful nature has been a little painful from time to time. I remember how you once told me something to the effect of, if your nose wasn't so big, you'd be really handsome. That hurt a little. It hurt a little. Or generally, letting me know what my problem is. But if nothing else, you've given me more to think about or humbled me. And far more often than those moments, you've been incredibly kind to me and complimented me for things that other people don't notice or don't appreciate. And you've given me support and even helped me figure things out in my life that were right in front of me that I didn't see. Like you did when you sat me down and clearly explained that my very close friend Nisha, I'm not sure where she is, definitely cared for me more than I or she even realized. And I can honestly say that that conversation that we had was a catalyst in helping me see one of my best friends as something more. And now, of course, that best friend is my wife. Where in the world is she? Oh, there she is. Okay. So you've been an important person in my life. And I don't think I'd be where I am or the person I am without you. So I want you to know how much I appreciate you and how deeply happy I am for you that you found Josh. Now, Josh, I've really enjoyed getting to know you over the past few months. We've only gotten to hang out a few times, but I've seen in those moments how fun and kind you are, and more importantly, how much you really care about Priti. One of the other things I found out from hanging out with Josh is his version of the story of how they got together, which I'd like to share with you all today. Dr. Zach, you're involved in the story. I apologize if I'm imitating you poorly. A few years back, Josh was hanging out with his dad, Dr. Zach, and Dr. Zach noticed that Josh didn't seem to be doing too well. So he asked him, "Son, how are you? Are you feeling all right?" So Josh told him, he said, "You know what? The truth is, I've always had this slight pain in my chest. But lately it's been hurting more and more. So Dr. Zach took a look at him and said, son, I think I know what is ailing you. Just as your tummy hurts when your stomach is empty, your chest is hurting because your heart is empty. So just as tummy ache means you must find food, your chest ache means you must find love. So Josh took this advice, and we're looking for love. Months and years went by, and the pain didn't go away. In fact, it slowly got worse. Finally, when Josh was on a trip to Tijuana, he called Dr. Zach and said, Dad, I've been looking all over, but the pain just isn't going away. So Dr. Zach said, son, I know you've tried to do what you can. I think it's time to consider medication. So Josh went in search of a pharmacist, and he's in Tijuana, you want to find someone reputable, so he ended up in Chula Vista. The pharmacist he found was Priti. And after looking over his chart, she said, I think I know what's wrong here. And oddly enough, I've actually been feeling the same way as well. Good news is, I have something for you to take, and I think it will be the best thing for both of us. Here's my number. I want you to send me sweet text messages every 4 to 6 hours and call me in the morning. Josh did just as Priti prescribed, and he started feeling better right away. In fact, after a while, he was so happy with how it was working. He said to Priti, I feel better than I've ever felt in my whole life. Is there anything I can do to make this feeling permanent? And well, here we are now. Now, Josh, there's something you have to be aware of when dealing with pharmacists. They give you what you need to take care of your problem, but you got to be careful and read the attached data sheet regarding the possible side effects. I've taken a look at the sheet, and here's what it says are the possible side effects of Priti's love. Headaches, exhaustion, insomnia, drowsiness, shortness of breath, hair loss, nausea. Wait, that's not the right one. Here it is. This isn't too bad, actually. It looks like the main side effect of being with Priti is your extended family will increase by about 100 people. You seem like a strong lad, though, so I think you can handle it. So anyways, Josh, we all look forward to getting to know you better, and I wish you both all the best in your married life together. Also, thanks for giving Priti a reason to move to Northern California. We definitely owe you for that. Congrats.
If you hadn't noticed, this reception is sponsored by Apple.
Well, I've known Josh, for over 10 years now. We both went to San Jose State University, both in the same fraternity, and a lot of stories, and trying to sift through the stories of one to share probably wouldn't be audience appropriate. So, but their history with me and my family dates back to December this past year, or 2011 actually, and we met for dinner, and it sounded pretty serious, Josh and his relations with Priti. And as soon as I met them, I knew instantly that they were in love. I'm like, oh, it's over for Josh. Hand in the single status card. You could tell they were very much into each other. And my young daughter, I like to think she's a very good judge of character. Right away, she walked right over to Priti and gave her a hug. I was like, wow, it's hard for me to even get that status. So it's exciting that this day has come, and I'm proud and happy for you both. So if we all could raise our glass, I'd like to offer a toast to many years to come for both Josh and Priti, and congratulations.
Priti and Josh, we wanted to start off by saying congratulations, and that we're so happy that you both found each other, and we wish you the best as you start your new life together. Priti, when I think back on all the memories that we've shared through the years, I can't help but smile. We've had so much laughter and so much fun through the years. Recently, by putting a photo book together for you, I was amazed at the endless pictures I had to pick from. we have somehow managed to keep in touch and be a part of each other's lives, not only for the big moments, but also for all the little ones.
Being a sister, I know that one of the greatest honors you can be given is being called a sister, and you truly are a sister to us. And as a sister, we can tell you that we honestly, from what we've seen of Josh, he truly adores you. Most recently, we asked him to describe what he thinks is your worst habit. He smoothly turned his answer into a compliment by saying, well, she does complain a lot, but usually it's very well deserved.
Now that's really smooth. But Josh, Brittany is pretty smooth herself.
Brittany is very smooth. In fact, through the years, we've been on many trips together. Brittany, one of my favorite trips we took together was our Philly-New York trip. I'm pretty sure you remember what I'm talking about. We were inseparable that trip. We barely left each other's side. Well, until I got that food poisoning our first night in New York, and I couldn't make it into the club. You somehow tore yourself apart from me to stick me in a cab back home. But I forgive you because you spent most of the next day nursing me back to health. So Josh, she'll be there for you in sickness and in health, but try not to get sick in New York.
Also, Josh, you don't need to pull out the big bucks for Brittany. She's a simple girl. I remember a family cruise that we went on to Mexico, and as everyone was feeling the boat rocking, it didn't stop us from ordering up extra desserts or taking full advantage of the buffets. Except for Brittany, she would order up a plate of lemons to soothe her stomach. So Josh, don't waste your money on cruises.
All the people in this room are near and dear to Preeti. And while those of you who may not know Preeti well, may not know how thoughtful and kind she is. Take today, for example. What is the most important day of her life so far? She still took the time to think of other people and dedicate cupcakes to them. We love you, Preeti.
And we're going to leave you with this last thought. While many people have references and analogies on marriage, such as game over, marriage isn't a word, it's a sentence. We're going to leave you with this metaphor that we created.
Marriage is a lot like an amusement park ride. You buy into the token of it, hoping it's going to be the best ride of your life, and that you pick the right person to ride it with. Hoping it lasts a long, long time, and well, you get what you want out of it. You wait in line for this adventure for what seems like forever. As other people may pass you by or get on the ride before you do, you often wonder, when is it going to be my turn? Finally, as you get on this ride, I would advise that you fasten your seatbelt. Inevitably, it will be a bumpy one, and you'll face lots of twists and turns together. But the most important thing is that you go through it together. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
It doesn't help to be the last cousin to go speaking, because I think a lot of what I was going to say, Sergio already said it, or Kamal did, or Jamie and Seema may have. So anyway, toss my speech aside and I'll just kind of wing it. Wanted to say it's a heartfelt thank you to everybody that's here today, to my hometown of San Diego, and unusually hot, but despite that, I think we had a wonderful wedding ceremony today at Balboa Park. I think it's one that you'll never forget. Must say that dancing, that was probably one of the longest minute of my lives. But amazingly, the 8 of us that participated, we all live in different cities. And props to Deepika Bhabhi, who put us all together and taught us this dance via Vimeo and emails and so forth. And I hope we did a good job and you guys enjoyed yourself. Anyway, just want to say I've actually known Preeti since she was born, because I was about 10 years old when she was born in England. And I've had the pleasure of knowing her all her life, whether it was as a baby in London. We were in the Central Valley together when she was, it was during her elementary and high school years. And then, again, the best of it all is the 9 years that she's been here in San Diego. It was my luck that one of my cousins, a sister at that, was living close to me. And it was probably just really heartfelt. I think I've had some of her best years, and I was lucky to. And it's nice that she's moving on now. I can't be happier. I've definitely had my fair share of her, and I'm ready to pass her on to Josh, that's for sure. I'm glad that she's only a quick Southwest flight away. We have traveled thousands of miles together and have endless conversations, and that's not going to stop. Josh, I hope that I can count on you to do some babysitting in a few years so that I can steal my cousin and we can still continue traveling the world together. I want to congratulate both of you. You guys both mean the world to me. Our home is always open to you. Thank you for all that you've done for my family. We're definitely going to miss you at our parties at home and all my cultural events. But like I said, you're just a flight away, and my home is open to you whenever you want to come visit. Okay?
Thank you, Worshipman. You have to get all sentimental on us. All right, fine. Okay. Next, I'd like to call up Josh's brother, Benji.
All right, so as Sergio said, I'm Josh's youngest brother. We have another brother, Rajiv. Rajiv, wave your hand. That's Rajiv back in there. So I kind of want to just, well, first I wanted to say congratulations, of course, to Josh and Preeti. It's been an unbelievable day so far. It's my first Indian wedding. It's the first time I've been actually in a wedding, and it's been great so far. So thank you so much for letting me be a part of this, so thank you. I just also wanted to just preface how I met Preeti the first time I met her. It was kind of a crazy time for me. It was my last night of college. It was about a year ago. And, you know, like I was a resident advisor. I don't know, not many of you know about that, but we are in charge of this dorm of like 76 people. And so all freshmen. But all those freshmen left. And so it was just me and a few of my other friends. And so we just decided to, you know, have a few drinks and have a good time in the dorms. It was crazy, just a lot of fun. But then Josh was like, hey, me and Preeti are going to come swing by. Of course, they're in San Diego, so it was only about an hour drive up. I remember seeing them and I was just on the top of beds, just jumping everywhere, going crazy. And I was like, oh, this is going to be my first impression for Preeti, you know? And I think it was an accurate one. I can be outgoing and a little crazy. Some of you guys know me. But I just wanted to share a few quick stories about Josh that you may not know about him. Everybody's saying sometimes he can be quiet. Of course, he's a great guy, but there's some things you guys probably don't know in this room that I've seen over the course of my 23 years that have kind of shaped how I think I view him and I think who he is, you know, at a personal level. And when you really get to know him, I think friends and family know that. But as far as for Preeti's side, a few quick stories. The first one I'll go over is when I was a kid, I was kind of like the animated storyteller of the family, and I think maybe that's either my dad or Josh and them try to bring that out in me. But I had this dream when I was a kid. It was some dream. I was in the Empire State Building, very fast dream. I didn't remember much. But I was fighting with this duck. This duck, I guess, had stolen my apple. So, and then I stole it back, and so it was biting me. I mean, I don't know about some duck, but it was just a random dream. And then Josh came to the rescue. You know, out of nowhere, he just came to the rescue, and I just remember that, and it was kind of, I think thinking back over the last few days, just thinking what that meant to me, he's always that loyal brother, and I think we've talked about the story and again, but he's such a loyal guy, and so I think that's something everybody in this room, if you know him personally, he is such a loyal brother, whether it's just so dedicated to family, friends, a lot of his high school friends are here today, and he's just such a loyal guy, and so I think that'll, you know, bode well for the future and just being such a loyal husband. So, yeah. My second story is a very quick one too. It's I remember I think it was in his teenage years. Not exactly sure. My parents and Rajiv know this story pretty well. Pretty quick, he just bleached his hair, blonde. So, as you try to envision Josh with blonde hair, you probably can't because it's kind of ridiculous. But imagine him with this black suit and blonde hair. You can't. So I remember my parents were both just so upset, but it kind of taught me, I mean, I didn't teach me at the time, but it was always like, he wasn't afraid to be who he wanted to be. I mean, of course, my parents can, drop the hammer sometimes. I'm sure they were upset about it. But in the end, it was what he, wanted for himself, and it, for me, kind of brought up the light that, he did kind of like what his heart desired. I mean, it was something rebellious, but that's something he instilled in me, whether, he realizes it or not. And then the third story is kind of one how he's, again, inspired me to be who I am today. It was right before I was taking my senior pictures, so right before my senior year in high school. I was like getting ready to go out the door, and then we were chatting, and he was like, what, you should wear like a funky hat for your senior picture. And I was like, a funky hat? What do you mean? He was like an Indiana Jones hat or something like that. And I was like, what? Why would I do that? But I was kind of like, I thought about it, it'd be funny. So I did it. I went to the Party Warehouse. I picked up this cowboy hat that was too small for my head. And I made this most ridiculous smile. It was like just a really funky, weird smile. And I had this tiny hat on my head. And it was such a small thing that, he was telling me you should wear a hat for your senior picture. But in the long run, it was, I think my friends saw it and they were like, that's such a you picture, But when I think back on it, it was like Josh was the one that mentioned it. He was the one that brought it up. And, you guys may not see that in the room today, but it was something that he has. And I think you guys will share in the future. And all these three different things, whether it's, being, the word we described is he's whimsical. I was trying to think of the word. Whimsical is it's an accurate word for him because he's fun, he's playful, but it's subtle. You don't see it. Maybe you don't see it when you're talking to him and you say, thanks, Josh, for having this. But if you see the day-to-day interactions, you'll see how playful and funny he is. So I think over the years and over the journey that I think we'll all have, this is just the first day of their journey together. I think you'll all see that. And so try and bring that out in Josh. Be fun with him because he'll be fun back. And I think as we all get closer to him, as I think me and my family and all our friends are, you'll start to see that. And I wish you guys all the best. Of course, it's sad that, you guys are all moving away, but I'm so happy for both of you and excited for the many years to come, and I wish you all the best. Yeah. Thanks. Congratulations.
Friends and relatives, thanks for being here. I have just a few words for the new couple, especially Preeti. Well done, Preeti. A great job in organizing everything so well. You have always been very independent ever since you were 1 year old. Now, everything you do is collaboration between you both. Respect each other and show genuine love and concern for each other's needs and aspirations. Adjust to the ups and downs of life and compromise in any situation. This from your dad and mom after 30-year roller coaster years. Your mom and I are very proud of your achievements. And going forward, raise a family and give us some grandkids. I hope you are all enjoying this, and it's a beautiful venue, and you've done a great job, both of you. Thank you very much.